Have you ever stopped to think about what a single skill is actually worth? I'm not talking theory here. I mean in real, cold, hard cash. Well, we're about to dig into how mastering one specific set of skills can lead to a massive financial payoff. And it's all based on a pretty incredible real-world story.
All right, let's just start with a number that's going to make you sit up and listen. Over $500,000. Seriously, that's how much one person, a guy named Richard Urshick, earned directly from his skills as a paid speaker and a trainer. It's a huge figure that just makes you ask one thing: how?
But look, this story isn't just about the money, as impressive as that is. The impact he had was just massive. He ended up training more than 45,000 professionals all over the world. We're talking about a huge scale of influence here, and it all grew from the very same set of skills.
And this wasn't some lucky break or a one-time thing. No way. The foundation for all that income, for all that impact, was built on a ton of work. We're talking over 350 workshops, webinars, and seminars. I mean, that's the kind of volume that just screams, this guy knows his stuff, and the market absolutely agreed.
So when you see these numbers all laid out, you've got to ask, right? How did one person actually pull all of this off? Did he have some fancy MBA, a degree from a top-tier university? Well, the answer is way more interesting and honestly way more accessible than you might think.
So this incredible journey didn't kick off in a fancy corporate boardroom or on some massive conference stage with spotlights and a huge audience. Nope, it started somewhere much, much more down to earth, a place that was built for practice, not for polished performance.
The training ground was Toastmasters, and it's really, really important that we're clear on what this is. This isn't some boring classroom where you're just taking notes. Think of it more like a practical, hands-on laboratory where you get in there and actually forge communication and leadership skills.
Now, here's the secret sauce. Here's the part that's kind of counterintuitive but absolutely crucial. The reason this system works so well isn't because it's easy or comfortable. It's the total opposite. It's effective because it puts you in an uncomfortable spot. It forces you to grow by putting you under just a little bit of pressure. And this right here, this is the engine that drives that growth. It's a really simple but incredibly powerful feedback loop. So you practice speaking, right? Which means you have to face that little bit of discomfort, standing up in front of people. Then, and this is key, you get direct, honest feedback. You take that feedback, you make adjustments, you improve, and then you do it all over again. It's that cycle repeated over and over that builds a skill that's the real deal.
Okay, so you're practicing in a club meeting. That's great, but how in the world does that translate into an actual lucrative career? This is where we connect the dots, from doing the reps to cashing the paychecks.
Check this out. This slide just lays it out so perfectly. These skills aren't just some abstract thing. They have a direct, one-to-one translation into the professional world. The speeches you practice in the club, those become the blueprint for professional keynotes. Those impromptu speaking drills, what they call table topics, that's what sharpens your ability to handle any client conversation on the fly. And learning how to give really good evaluations, that becomes the foundation for delivering powerful corporate training.
And believe it or not, it goes even deeper. Those speeches that Richard Urshick practiced, they didn't just vanish into thin air. They evolved. They became real, tangible money-making assets. I'm talking about full-blown corporate training programs, published books, paid webinars, even online courses. All of it started as ideas that he first tested out in the safety of his club. And that's the whole point, right there. The real value isn't just about, getting a little less nervous when you speak in public. It's about taking what you learn and using it to build real career opportunities and professional assets. That is the $500,000 secret.
But it's not all about what you say when you're standing at a lectern. This whole process also develops another set of skills that are just as valuable, and maybe even harder to find: leadership skills. This question right here gets right to the heart of it. I mean, think about it. At your job, you probably have a title, right? It gives you authority. But in a volunteer organization like Toastmasters, you have to learn how to lead people who have absolutely no obligation to listen to you. So how do you do it? How do you motivate them?
This is leadership in its absolute purest form. You learn by actually doing it. You're out there organizing volunteers, you're managing all sorts of different personalities, you're learning to communicate what you need with total clarity, and you're figuring out how to build momentum when you can't just tell people what to do.
And that's exactly what makes this experience so valuable and so unique. These are the practical, real-world leadership skills that you simply can't learn from a textbook. They are forged in the messy reality of human interaction. and they transfer directly to any leadership role you'll ever have.
So after we've looked at the money, the skill transfer, the leadership development, what's the one big thing you should take away from all of this? What is the real secret to this kind of success?
Well, it really boils down to this powerful quote from the man himself. Toastmasters doesn't make you successful, you do. It puts all the responsibility and all of the power right where it belongs, with you. The system is just a tool, a very powerful one, but you're the one who has to pick it up and use it.
And what a tool it is. It gives you all the essential ingredients you need for growth. You get a safe place to practice and, yes, to fail. You get a system that has been proven to work. You get feedback that actually matters. And you walk away with skills that you can use absolutely everywhere. It gives you everything you need to build your own success story.
And that leaves us with one final, and I think really powerful question. In the end, it's not about what some system can do for you. It's about what you can do with the skills you build. So the real question for you, for me, for anyone looking to grow is this: what will you do with your skills?